I'm Wade Sankey. This is the Sankey Rodeo Show podcast from the cabin right here on the ranch in Sankey, America. It's not going to get any better than that. You just will go. Everybody, Scott Breding, one of the best bull riders that's ever done it. Got a response?
Hello, folks. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence on that one.
Yeah.
It was fun while it lasted.
I think it's true. I absolutely do. And there's people talk about rodeo contestants a lot, and a lot of names get forgot, and yours still gets brought up.
Huh.
And I've always thought that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Always been proud to know you. Appreciated getting to know Parker quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
And it's really neat that we live this close.
Yeah. It's right over the hills from one another.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you had as good of a career as a bull rider could ever hope to have. Now, I'm going to tell you this, not trying to drag this conversation down at all, but I remember being a young kid starting a rodeo, and I saw you working for the county or for the state, holding a road sign.
Yeah.
And you waved back.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool to see Scott. And then I got to thinking about it, and I thought, that's the problem with rodeo right there. That guy's one of the best that's ever done it. And he's working for the county, which, I mean, absolutely no disgrace for that. I think that's awesome. And it's a damn good job. But that's always bothered me.
Yeah. Well, I helped, a lot of ranches throughout my whole life. That's what I had always thought I'd just retire doing, is just being a cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
But realized with a family, I couldn't afford probably to do it that way. Not the way times have changed.
Yeah.
So took the best job I could take.
Yeah.
I paid the best for what I knew. Somebody asked me when I was working construction right after I quit riding in Billings, and one of them was a state guy that I grew up junior rodeoing with, and he said, "What do you do in the winter? What are you going to do now that you're not riding?" And I said, "Well, this till winter, and then we're done." He says, "You should apply for snowplow driver." I said, "Oh, I don't think so." And I got to thinking, well, when I got done riding, what am I going to do to capture my interest like that job did? It's going to take a whale of a job to capture my interest like that one did, like rodeo did.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, snowplow driver? Well, maybe. It sounds exciting. So that's how I kind of got my foot in the door there. Went and put in an application.
Mm-hmm.
Had to get a CDL license, and then here I am 22 years later.
Still driving.
Still driving.
Yeah.
Probably not too far from retirement. I'm 63 now. Got about another 4 years to go, probably.
Yeah. So how was the transition from when you quit riding bulls to we should say this. In that area, you never didn't have a job.
Yeah.
But what was it like to stay home and not be a bull rider?
It tortured me, especially 4th of July. I'd start seeing trucks going by and be like a dog sniffing the air. Oh, I wish I was with you.
Yeah.
It took a long time. I wanted to ride all the time, all the way up till I was 50, middle 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And I did get on a couple when I was 53 or something, 3 or 4 bulls.
Yeah.
But shoulder wasn't going to do it. I knew it. I needed that free arm shoulder that I tore up.
Yeah.
Reminded me why I had to quit.
Mm-hmm.
Rest of me feels good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said the other day, if this arm was good, I'd probably still get on one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Jim Leatherberry.
Yeah. Luckily, Clint and I had traveled with him for a few years to get started.
Yeah.
When we very first got going.
Well, what about some of those stories? What about traveling with that guy?
Well, that was a good experience because Jim was tough, and if something scared you, he'd tell you like, "Oh, don't be afraid of them horns. I'd be more afraid of a muley. If he threw you off, he'd step on you, but at least them horns, he'll hook you out of there." And I said, yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would talk you out of thinking different.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
He showed us how to travel and where to go, how to get to Canada and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I owe a lot to Jim in his early days.
I remember we were putting on a bull riding one time, and I wasn't very old, like 12, 14, something like that. And Jim was trucking for us, I think.
Okay.
And there's bulls fighting. There's bulls everywhere. Everybody's yelling at everybody. Everybody's mad. It's hot. And this one bull's standing by the gate, just quivering. He's just getting his ass kicked. So I walked over there, old Powder River Gates, used my hand, opened the latch. Another bull picks up that bull. He hits the gate. The gate hits me right in the nose, just breaks my nose. So I just walk by everybody. I'm leaving. Didn't say a word. I leave and I go lay down in the shade. And they get done sorting bulls, and I'm trying to figure out just how bad this deal is. And Jim, he comes up there, and he was Don Freehoff, and Ike was there, and I can't remember who else was there, but they all came up. They were looking at it. Oh yeah, that's broke. That's gonna need some attention. Jim Leatherberry, just like you said, says, yeah, you should straighten that some bitch yourself. It hurts like hell when they do it at the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
That was a man.
Yeah, he was like the Clint Eastwood of bull riders, I always thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he stayed fit. He'd cut timber and stuff in the winter when he wasn't riding and worked hard.
Yeah.
And yeah, just stayed fit all the time.
Yeah. So how did it all begin? You grew up on a ranch.
Yeah, I kind of grew up on my granddad's ranch out of Big Timbers where I was raised. And my dad, he grew up horseback because when they were kids, they actually had to ride to school out there in the country between Big Timber and Harlow and Shawmut. That's where they homesteaded. Mm-hmm. And so Dad was, I guess.
Where were they from? Where'd they come from?
They were German people.
Yeah.
My dad's folks, full-blood Germans. They migrated over there from Germany back. There's 3 brothers. And, they kind of went mining. I think they were in Iowa for a while, and then they drifted out. One of them, the brothers, drifted to Montana. And I don't know where the other 2, one went to Texas. They kind of split. We're from the one that went to Montana. So his name was Gus or Augustus. Full-blood German, barely talked any English.
Yeah.
According to my granddad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was 5 kids in that family and from my grandpa, and Dad was, they said, the only cowboy of the bunch. The rest they were farmers and turned out to be truck drivers and stuff. And so Dad stayed with the horses and grew up riding them. So he was breaking horses and stuff when I was little. I don't know when he got married, but him and my first mom, my mom, was back. I was about a year old, and they had a car, rolled a pickup, and they killed my mother. I was in it, the wreck too, and Dad set me out in the grass, and he had to pick the pickup up off my mom. I guess she was driving, and I don't know what happened, but so I never knew her. And then I was with Dad for about 3-4 years before he remarried, and then I had a mom. So, but I spent, for that reason, a lot of time at my grandpa's. They kind of helped raise me while Dad was working, and he was riding colts and working for ranches and stuff. Guess while I was playing around, Dad, he picked up somewhere he wanted to be a bareback rider, so he started dabbling with that. And by the time I was 6, I'd go to rodeos with him. That's kind of how I got into my bloodstream, I guess. And I'd watch all them bareback riders, bronc riders, and bull riders. All of it was just intrigued me. And a little bit further down the road, Dad got pretty good. He actually rode barebacks pretty good, I guess, towards the end, which wasn't long after that. because he got killed in the truck wreck too, driving truck, got in a head on, I guess. So he was probably 33 or 4 when he passed away.
Really?
And he was riding good up to that point, just got his permit. He was a late bloomer because I said he didn't start riding until he was like 27.
Mm-hmm.
But they said, boy, your dad could hold out on one. I said, huh? I'll be darned.
So how old were you then?
I was probably 7 to 8 years old, or 10 when he passed away.
Yeah.
So, but I'd spent a lot of time. Well, he'd had me a horseback since I was 6, probably, riding horses and anything on Granddad's place had put up with me. I was trying everything. Calves, busted my arm when I was 6, riding calves. Dad showed me how to get on these calves of Granddad's. And he said, now don't be doing this when I'm not around. So, okay, so he's off riding the colt. Him and my stepmom took off, and I looked at them calves, looked around, thought I'd jump on one. He bucks out across the corral and turned right, and I went off, and there's a big old rock sticking out of the ground, and I put my arm out, and it busted my arm, both bones right in half. I remember I got up, took off running, screaming and hollering, and my grandpa was working around the barnyard there somewhere, and he said, here, he caught me around the belly. What's the matter? Oh, my arm. It was flopping. It had a big bow in it. And, oh, God, you broke your arm. I said, Grandpa, am I going to die? Because I thought if you break your arm like a horse, you're going to die. No, you're not going to die. He took me to the house, and him and Grandma straightened it out and splinted it in some cardboard or something, hauled me in.
Yeah.
And Dad got back. Damn, kid, I told you don't be riding them when I'm not here. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So that was probably my first wreck with it.
So you did not learn your lesson.
I guess not. And then later on at them rodeos, he'd lost me once. I was over there watching the bull riding. At the time, it was Doyle Parker and some of them guys. I was thinking, what in the heck would possess a guy to do this? This is amazing. I'm watching, and then Dad come over. Well, there you are, you little shit. I was looking all over for you. What are you doing? And I'm watching this. And he says, oh, you don't want to do this. Says something like, man ain't meant to ride something like that. Cattle. And he said, we'll get you going on bucking horse someday. But then he passed away that next year. So I kind of lost for a couple of years. I went with his brother and his family. And then my granddad, my grandmother passed away too. So he sold his ranch and he just worked for ranches, irrigating. He liked to irrigate. Mm-hmm. He got on with the quarter horse ranch south of Big Timber, the Circle T quarter horse ranch. It was Sonny Todd. You remember that realtor? Yeah. That would be him and his family. Well, Dad broke some horses for them too, and they were good friends. And they hired my granddad, and they put him on a spare place they had. And I got it arranged where I'd go down and live with him. And then I got back into riding horses. So a couple of years went by where I didn't have that. Yeah.
So did your stepmom end up raising you for those few years?
They ended up getting a divorce. I got 2 half-sisters from that family, Cindy and Gina. And there's probably 2-3 more years went by, and he met another gal, Cheetah, and remarried. So I had a third mom and a half-brother with her. And that's right when Dad got in that accident. My brother was a year old. So she was going to go to New Mexico with her mom, and they didn't want me to go with her. So being, they made an arrangement. I went with my dad's sister for now. She took over guardianship of me and placed me there with Granddad. Man, so I was 7th, 8th grade. And, yeah.
That's quite a story. I didn't know any of that.
Oh. So that ranch, they were being good friends with my folks. Him he put me to work riding colts when I was about 12. Taught me how to start horses. So I started riding some colts for them. And then we're living down there about couple miles from their place. I'd take the colts down there and then I'd ride to school. I didn't have to, but I did just to get rides on them colts.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was the start of probably. I didn't do any rodeos until Big Timber right about then decided they're going to put on a youth rodeo. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna enter that." So I entered the junior bareback riding, the junior bull riding, and that's where I first met Deb Greeno. Because everybody was saying, "Hey, there's a girl gonna ride in a bull riding or a bareback riding." I says, "Well, really?" I was all waiting for this and get there and I meet Deb. This ain't a girl, this is a guy. It was funny at the time. Had everybody believing the girl was gonna ride.
Oh, that's great.
And Deb, he hoed it out of one. He won the junior bareback riding that day. I won the bull riding, but my bareback horse had a little pony, a Gifford's. His horses were wild. He bucked out across there, and I got my feet going. I was starting to get, I was setting my feet, and that little bugger just reared up and popped me in the rigging right over his head, right the whistle, so I didn't get a score. I thought, but I had it going. I was excited. I remember. I got a picture of that too. I should have brought it with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on that Shetland.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything more ill-mannered than a Gifford Shetland.
Oh, I know that the older horses might have been out of the priors.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah. Those guys did end up raising some good horses, though.
Yeah, they did. And they had good bulls. A lot of their big bulls were good bulls, crossbreds, some buckers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty neat. So, was Clint around? Clint Bronner?
I didn't meet Clint until probably a year or two later, and that they started up that Montana Junior Rodeo Association, and Jacobs put on most of those. Don Jacobs, him and his brother Dean.
Yeah,
and that's when I met Clint and his folks. Got to be good friends with them. I'd go over and stay at Clint's once in a while.
Yeah,
in those years. And then we eventually started rodeoing together once we got in college and stuff.
Where'd you run into Dan Mortensen?
I was kind of in between. He was in high school still, and we had to go down to Dale Smalls and try out some bucking bulls for him down at Pompey's Pillar, and we picked up Dan. I didn't know Dan then, and brought Dan with us so he could practice too. And he wasn't riding broncs yet then.
Yeah.
That I know of. Yeah. Mostly just bull riding. Yeah,
that's really neat to have that set of guys that were that successful in rodeo come from such a close area like that. And how many more of them?
Yeah. There was a lot more. Well, we met Brad Lyman back in them days.
Yeah.
Brad Gleason, he rode bulls actually in junior rodeos and bulldogged and timed event. Yeah. Many others.
It was a pretty good era for
this
little area.
It was. That really started something, that junior rodeo deal. They had high school here, but only district and state. You didn't have all these other ones, qualifiers.
Yeah.
So you went to district. If you placed in the top 10 there, you'd go to state. That's how it was. So I didn't high school rodeo out of Big Timber. We didn't have a rodeo club or nothing really. You'd had to do it individually.
Yeah.
And so I missed out on the high school rodeo.
It worked out.
Yeah. Took the steps.
So, sorry, go ahead.
I didn't really know how far I was going to go with bull riding, but I was actually started entering all the events. And a good friend of my dad's that he rodeoed with, he had kids my age. I traveled with him, Wick Whitcomb, and his sons, Shannon and Shane. And he'd haul me to rodeos. And them junior rodeos, and I was entering barebacks, saddle broncs eventually when I got seniors anyway, but junior barebacks and bulls. And he says, I think we better get you off them horses for a while too. I was just a little guy, weighed about 90 pounds. Till you grow up a little bit, when you're more of a teenager, you'll be a little more developed, later on, like 17 or so. Then you can try them bareback horses. Just stay on the bulls. It's easy. Keep your feet down. And I kind of remember how to do it, and he kind of helped us get started.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that too. And I didn't know really where I was going to go with that. And finally, I was starting to ride quite a few bulls, and picked up bareback riding, bronc riding again when I was a senior, and started doing all right. I ended up winning the all around that year, beat Brad Gleason out by 5 points or something, or 3, not much. Win my first all around saddle. And then I got a college scholarship for Miles City and took that. That's where I thought, well, yeah, it'll be good. I'll use college as a stepping stone. I didn't really want to go to school no more. I said I spent 12 years to get through this. Told my aunt, I really don't want to go another 4.
Yeah.
Or another 2.
Or another day.
Yeah, another day. She says, no, you better do it. After my dad's accident, there's all that. You had that money, Social Security money, to get us kids all through schooling anyway. Yeah. Said, you better use it or lose it. Said, oh, all right. But with the rodeo scholarship, I said, oh, rodeo? Yeah, I'll do that. So that kind of got me foot in the door in college. I took art because I did paint and draw in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you anymore?
I did one a while back, just a pen and ink. But there for a while, I painted and drew and sold some paintings back 20 years ago. Once Parker started riding and Lacey, I kind of dropped it, and I never did pick it back up.
Yeah.
I said, gosh, I lost that desire to do it. I don't know where it went. I used to stay up till 1 a.m. Even back when I was riding, I'd get home and I might work on a painting till 1, 2 a.m. That's when I did my best work.
Yeah.
And then I just dropped it all these years. So I finally drew one for my daughter here a few weeks ago.
That's pretty cool. Did you like it?
It was just a skull and cow skull.
Yeah. Did you enjoy doing it?
Oh, yeah, I did once I got back. Except I got to wear readers now, which I didn't last time I did some.
Yeah.
That's different. Kind of have to take them off, stand back and look at it. But it turned out good.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you went to college, who did you look up to? Like, who taught you how to ride bulls, basically?
Well, we were kind of trial and error that way, and whoever would help us. We had to kind of learn who was good helping, who was just filling you full of bull.
Talking. Yeah.
Yeah. Did it that way, kind of trial and error. A lot of good help from friends. Got to school there, and I think our first rodeo was Powell. That's where I met Chuck Simonson, and Larry Peabody was on his last year.
Yeah.
And those guys. I thought I could ride until I got up there against them guys. I think you guys had to stock.
Possibly.
I think so.
I think I could have been the coach at Northwest then.
Yeah, and that would have been in 1980.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Because, I'm sure I did win first or second in the first go on one of your bulls, Speedy of your guys. And got flattened in the short go. Chuck win it, and Mark Kuhn was there too.
Yeah.
Mark win second, one of the other. And they kind of dominated the college season. I was hit and miss and trying to find my way yet. I was up against tougher bulls now, and not the high school bulls no more. So I kind of had to relearn almost in a year.
Yeah.
So that first year I wound up kind of 7th in the region or something. And the next year, though, I turned things around. we practiced out at Sunny Lingers and started finding my game, and somehow it started clicking.
Mm-hmm.
And that next year, I couldn't hardly do no wrong. I won the region and made the finals, and had to win the college finals. Everything turned around.
Yeah. What about the practices at Sunny's? Have you got any stories about Sunny?
Yeah, he had that big round pen out in the middle of out there in the coulee where he's at, out of Mile City.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Hope would bring in some tryout bulls. Sonny'd throw in some of his older bulls, and he had that black bull walleye. Remember him running him in to shoot, and I knew the bull, and I was like, boy, I can't find my spur strap. My buddy was over there, Tim Goss. He said, "You sorry dog, you know where your spur strap is. You just don't want on him." About then, Sonny come up, "Boys, don't get on this one. He's a little bit too hooky for the practice pen." I said, "Oh, thank goodness." Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
But we'd get on some of Tom's, and you never knew what you had there. And Sonny ended up picking up a couple of those bulls that bucked.
Yeah.
So that worked.
Ike always tells me stories. A lot of what he did
Uh-huh.
was patterned after Sonny, and because of what a great stockman he was.
Yeah.
Just really
Yeah.
looked up to Sonny.
That was, like that day, that was good advice. But he had to let us shake a little bit first.
So he'd done it on purpose.
Yeah, I think so. Trying to shape us up a little.
Yeah. Was the bull, did he buck or was he just really mean?
Walleye?
Yeah.
Yeah, he bucked.
Yeah.
He was out and to the right. Either way, I think. I seen him buck Charlie Sampson off, and after Bruce Ford bought the bull, when he took that company.
Mm-hmm.
They had bulls down in Farmington, and I watched that bull buck Charlie Sampson off. He was getting up there in years, the bull
Yeah.
was. He was a lot like your guys' old bull Budweiser.
Mm-hmm.
He had that same bucking pattern
Yeah.
and the same attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got my bulls mixed up for a second there. I thought that was Budweiser changed his name to King Nong, but it went, remember King Wrangler?
Nong. Yeah, I was on him a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he hook you?
He welled me once, missed me because he went over me.
Yeah.
I got out of there, and then I got him rode. Where was that? Helena or something. I finally got him rode. Win a check.
Yeah. I can't remember who named that bull, but it was one of them Australians.
Oh, okay.
Called him King Nong.
Yeah, I remember him well.
And then changed it to King Wrangler. And Ike has got millions of stories about that bull.
I
He
bet.
loved him.
I know it. He was tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could weld you quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took me a couple tries to figure him out.
But you got him rode?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So back to college finals.
Mm-hmm.
You made the college finals and you won the college finals.
Yeah. That's where I met Tuff Hedeman and Cody Lambert and all David Fournier.
Yeah.
First time I'd ever seen them.
Mm-hmm.
And rode my first two bulls were Linger bulls. And
Was it in Bozeman?
yeah.
Okay.
Or actually one was Harry's bull. One of them was Linger's. One was Harry's, and it's coming in third or fourth in the short go in the average. Tuff was leading the average, I think. And Tuff got thrown off. Cody got thrown off maybe. And I don't know what David did, but I had an out Mac Altizer bull, and Cody and them knew him pretty good. So I asked Cody, "What's this bull?" And he says, "He's right here to the right and really droppy and should be a good bull. He might not stay." That's all I knew about him. And he blowed out, and I was riding him round for round to the right, and he did shoot ahead, run me back, but I put the knees to him and held on to the whistle and got the average.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe I won it, though.
Yeah.
I didn't believe I probably would.
Well, you never know. But were those guys ahead of you in their career? Like
Yeah,
tough
they'd
and
already got their cards and were riding,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like a year or two later, they were already going to the national finals.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like early or mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And I held out a year or so to buy my permit. I just wanted to travel and season myself, make darn sure I was ready to go. So I stayed in there, like the NRA in Montana for a year or so. Then got my permit with Clint, and we hit the trail
Yeah.
together. And yeah, that was quite a journey when we were rookies.
Okay. Before we talk about being rookies,
Yeah.
how do you get out of the NRA? Because there's so many guys that are so capable.
Mm-hmm.
Get into the role of being a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah. Well, there was some changes in the rules too. If you couldn't do both back then, I think,
Mm-hmm.
Not legally. So I can't remember how that went, but I stayed in the NRA for a couple of years, I guess, until I won a championship, and then I chose to get my permit. And Clint went to those too, but he wound up getting shafted a lot, and he says, "I'm tired of this. I'm getting my permit. He wasted his rookie year because he got his card a year before I did,
Mm-hmm.
actually. But we traveled together when I was a rookie.
Yeah.
That first year out in 84 or 85.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got my permit in 84, and actually I filled it bronc riding.
Man, I'd heard about that.
Yeah.
I never saw you get on a bronc, but I've had a lot of people tell me
I
you
did
rode
get
good.
on one out your barn out of Gray Bull,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the night rodeo quite a bit. I actually had to have your dad help me figure out how to set my saddle.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been on broncs in college, but I wasn't riding them real good. Just kind of riding them like I didn't want to walk home.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was easy when he showed me how to set my saddle. He had me set it for length, push my feet forward. If I push my butt out of the seat just an inch, that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the side bind, front bind, said just enough where don't put your leg in a bind because you want to let go of them swells or you ain't going to be able to turn your toes out, he said.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good advice. And he kind of helped me along there at the night rodeo. And finally, I rode one. He was a big sorrel horse. Took a little run at me, and I rode him good and won the bronc riding that night. Your dad says, "So when you going to throw that bull rope about 30 feet in the air?" And I said, "Well, I would, Ike, but I don't feel like I can afford to give up bull riding." He said, "If you just fling that rope and enter it, you'd have the money," he says. And I did continue to ride, and I was filling my permit, and that's all I could get in was bronc riding. The bull riding in the Montana circuit they draw you out.
Really?
Yep. So the early ones, like Missoula, I went there and I went third bronc riding and got about 300. That was my first money one on the permit.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on that summer, I got thrown off a few too, as the horses increased.
Yeah, those were Kessler rodeos.
Yeah, most of the western Montana was Kessler, and I didn't enter any Brookmans. His horses were a little spooky for me yet, so I just rode bulls on both sides when I finally got in. I did win a check in bull riding at Wolf Point and almost filled my permit, but then I got drawn out of Helena and some of them. So I went to Cheyenne. I entered the rookie bronc riding, drew me out of the bull riding course, got in the rookie bronc riding, and I think I relived that song Chris Ledoux wrote, except for the sheep herd, because I was down to night rodeo and I had to get to Cheyenne next day for that. And I talked to a bareback rider down there. I said, "Anybody going to Cheyenne?" Because you remember Kevin Kessler?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin was there with me, him and I lived together down there in Cody, and Kevin he got drawn out of the bareback riding there, so he wasn't going. I walked around. Anybody going to Cheyenne? Remember Lionel Ellison?
I don't remember that name.
He rode it nightly a lot.
Yeah.
NRA rodeos and stuff. He was down Cody. Pro rodeos too. And he said, I'm going. Says, can I catch a ride with you? You bet. I'll meet you. I'd already worked with him that winter. We were building pole barns down in Cody, actually. He was a building contractor. And he hired us me and Kevin and I to help him build pole barns that winter. He says, he knew where I lived, so he said, I'll meet you up at your uncle's place on the hill there and pick you up about 6 o'clock. And how far is it from Cheyenne to Cody? Like 290?
It's a solid 7 hours, probably.
7 hours. Well, 6 o'clock, he didn't show. Maybe it's 5 o'clock, but we had to have the time for him to get there. But I don't know what section he was in, but I figured rookie bronc riding, they might start with it. I'm not sure. So I didn't know what section I'd be in. He didn't show, and Kevin we didn't have Lionel's number, but Kevin knew where he lived. So we drove down there, and his girlfriend answers the door, and it's, Lionel here? Oh, he's sick. Oh my God. I thought I was going to get a ride. So Kevin had to take me, and we took off his old Plymouth Fury. He had a 71 Plymouth Fury, and we were driving, I swear, 90 all the way. But it's construction time. Mm-hmm. Construction held us up like half an hour of that journey. Oh, I was just pulling teeth, and I get there, and same thing. I get over, I didn't bother to go pay my fees. I run straight to the track. That security guard, I didn't punch him like Chris did. I would have. I could have. I was so mad. I gave him some words because I had my bronc saddle and gear bag, and he made me run all the way around, go under that tunnel. I get there, and horses are loaded. And I figured it was rookie bronc riding. I didn't recognize any pro bronc riders getting ready right then. So Daryl Barron was the chute boss. I said, I'm here. He said, you're turned out. I said, that's my horse right there. I can have it on him in 2 minutes. He said, you're turned out. We hollered your name 3 times. Dang it. He says, take it up with the judge. And so I went out to the judge. I think it was George Gibbs. Never met him before either. Says, yeah, you're a non-notified turnout. But says, well, if I pay my fees, can I get on my next one? Because that was the next day. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you could probably do that. So I went and squared up there and waited, and I got on that next horse, and I was so mad. Had a little roan horse of Harry's, Red Rooster or something he called him. He blowed out and was just hanging in the air and cracking them, and I was setting my feet so hard. I kicked him right in the jaw with my right foot. Boom! Nailed him and just kept setting him until I heard a whistle, the gunshot. And I ended up winning second in the round. And Robert Etbauer beat me. He got on both. He won the average that year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was my bronc riding story. Yeah. And I filled my permit. That money counted. I didn't know that. Yeah. I got that letter in the mail. You're going to have to either buy your card or quit entering. Yeah. So I quit entering in the middle of the summer there.
Yeah, that's a rule that's changed too. You can rodeo on your permit.
Yeah. Long. Now you can wait a year. Yeah. Like I heard Parker mention. Yeah. Told him, you might want to wait another year. Looks like a tough year to go for it. Like he said, Trey Benton.
Yeah, exactly.
Made the finals, I think. And
yeah.
You can't hardly beat a guy at that rate if he didn't make it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So, this is great. Where were we?
Just to the point after college and where it went, I think. So, yeah, I waited a year got my card the next year. That had been 85, and then went with Clint. It was a rough year. It was some, oh, shoot. I can't remember his last name now. I traveled with Jeff. He got killed that summer. He was leading the rookie race by quite a bit. He did some good in Houston and took an early lead. About August, I think, that year, he got bucked off and it died from it.
Really? Where was this?
Ely, Nevada, I heard.
Oh, you
One of
weren't
Russell's. No, I wasn't there. But we jumped in with Jeff some that summer, and Clint and I, and a guy named Brent Powell. He was a bulldogger from Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Arlie.
Yeah.
He rode bulls and bulldogged. He was traveling with us a lot, too. Mike Lanning. Yeah, well, Mike, he was with us most of the summer. I guess Mike and I stayed together, and Clint, I don't know where he went. He might have got in with somebody else later on in the year.
Yeah.
That summer.
So how did it affect you? I mean, you're pretty young in your career at that point.
I still wasn't sure. I did know at that point I want to make the national finals. I thought that was kind of in the back of my mind all that time, because I grew up in the 70s watching the national finals, and them old sports news, they were about this big.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at those, and saw Don Gay and Denny Flynn and the likes of that. And that was my inspiration, to try for, imitate them and watch them whenever you could. That helped me a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the media.
Yeah,
the media is the same, but the media's changed.
Yeah,
but I think that's still everybody's drive.
Yeah,
is just to be one of those guys.
Right. Now the access to it is all over. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so much more information available.
Yeah.
Instead of, like you were talking earlier, the guys that you had to decide who to listen to or who not to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
You can go see how Rocker Steiner is setting up his rigging. You can go see how Sam Peterson's spurring horses out, that type of a deal. Yeah, it's a big change, but same driving factor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you rodeoed with Clint the first year.
Yeah. And then first baby.
Wait a minute. What was Clint like then?
Clint was, he was fun to travel with. Most of the time we were always laughing, but he'd get, well, they called him Arch, Tough and them did, off of Archie Bunker.
Yeah.
He'd come back with that. You could make him mad, but I could talk him out of it too, because I'd always have something funny to say and he'd start laughing. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of fun. And I think we enjoyed traveling together, as far as I know. Mm-hmm. I know I did with him. Yeah. And I got to know how he was, so I knew how to get around him.
Well, you guys are still friends. That's a pretty good sign.
Yeah. He's been an awesome friend all his life, him and his folks. Yeah. Good people.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys are going down the road. What about having a light bulb in your car? When did this come up?
That was Dan Mortensen did that to me.
Okay, you gotta tell it.
We were at the home on the range deal. They had the bull riding match after the bronc riding, or into halftime or whatever. And so I went there for Montana, representing Montana. And Dan was there. He pulled up and he had a little car and he had a light bulb in a glad bag hanging from the rearview mirror. I said, what's the light bulb? He said a friend of his.
Just a light bulb.
Yeah, it
just
was a three-way light bulb.
Okay.
can't beat a regular light bulb. So he said he had a friend in college that studied this, and if you pointed the prongs of the light bulb towards the radar, it would scramble the policeman's radar. I'll be darned. And I'll believe it.
It's every cowboy's dream.
Yeah. So I was with Gavin Gly. We went down to a bull riders only in Phoenix, and I got pulled over out in the middle of the desert. Got a ticket going 75 or something in I don't know what it was, 65 then or 60. And thought, who'd have thought that out in the desert? So the next town I pull into Kanab, Utah or something, and went to the store, and he said, what you got? I come back, I had a 3-way light bulb. I said, what's that all about? Gavin says, told him, I guess if you stick this up there and it'll scramble them policemen's radars. He's like, and he busts up laughing. Said, laugh if you want. We're going to see if it works. And after that, I kept that in there in my van.
Yeah.
And I never got a ticket.
Really?
Yeah. I was in Texas cruising down the road by myself and going about 70 at night. It was on a 55 2-lane. And a patrolman, I passed him and he turned his lights on. I said, oh, crap, my light bulb failed me. Must have broken an element in it. He started after me, and then all of a sudden somebody else went by and he whipped around and went after that guy.
Yeah.
He might have just been checking me out because of my Montana plates, I guess.
Yeah.
So, whew, yeah. Well, I might have had a ticket, but yeah, I never got one with it.
Lucky.
Lo and behold.
If nothing else, it was lucky.
Yeah. Well, it's like that. Some ad I heard on the radio today about instead of a certain medicine, just get placebos. It was funny. However they said it, it was hilarious. Everything was get a placebo.
Yeah.
They're a lot cheaper.
Half the time, it'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just like your light bulb.
That's kind of what he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you believe it, I think it'll work.
Yeah. I don't know if that holds true when you're talking with law enforcement, but
yeah. I thought that time was going to prove me wrong.
Yeah. How long did you have it with you?
Probably the rest of my career.
Really?
Yeah. I did have a fuzz buster too, but some of them states you'd get fined if you had it on the dash.
Mm-hmm.
They found it.
Yeah.
You had to be careful.
Yeah. So is this the type of knowledge you passed down to Parker?
I didn't mention, yeah, maybe I did. But he'd just look at me and bust up laughing, I'm sure.
Well, I'm going to get a light bulb. A 3-way.
3-way. It's got to be a 3-way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to talk to Galvin and see what he thought about the idea by now.
Yeah. He's probably got a light bulb too, but he wouldn't tell you.
He might.
So, rookie year, how did it end up?
Well, it ended up, I think I was traveling some with Wade Leslie too. He took the lead for a while, and I think Cody Custer took the lead for a while. It was getting towards the end of fall, and all we had left was Pueblo and some of them in the Nile.
Mm-hmm.
So I was behind them about a couple thousand probably. I was creeping up.
For the rookie.
For the rookie.
Yeah.
And sneaking up, and I went to Pueblo and had 150 of Harry's, which was, you ride him, you're going to probably win it. He had 160 and 150, pair of black baldy bulls. And they both turned back, but 150 was the one you really wanted. I drew him and got him rode. Win Pueblo, and that capped it for me. Shot me right to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Paid about $3,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much you won that season?
Yeah, it was like 20,000.
That's what it took to win rookie then.
Yeah.
Against some guys that were wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Were you there when Wade got on Wolfman?
No, I had to watch the film, but
yeah,
I said, I can imagine. I rode around him enough. He's so quick.
Yeah.
He'd set his feet so fast on a bull. It looked good.
Mm-hmm.
And on a bull like Wolfman, I says, it probably did look like 100.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw Wolfman. I thought with those two together, I could imagine it looked like 100. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The film was pretty grainy that I watched, but I could
Yeah.
imagine if you're
Yeah.
there in real life.
Yeah, it'd be neat to talk to somebody that was actually there.
Who did?
Oh, it would just be neat to talk to somebody that was there.
Yeah, I've heard all different kinds of controversies.
Yeah. Yeah, drop the high and the low, and there you have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They probably only had 2 judges, maybe, though, then.
Oh, I'm sure. And one bullfighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I said, with the right mixture, the right day, that might look like 100. But I've always said, I don't know if there'd be an actual 100, but I do argue that how many times have I think I've seen a near perfect ride from somebody. Why isn't there more in the middle, high 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen near excellence.
Yeah.
With the stock, how can he buck any harder? How can the guy ride any better?
Yeah. Yeah, so do you still judge PBRs?
I haven't for a couple of years.
Yeah. So you have judged a lot of bull ridings at a very high level.
Yeah.
Expound a little bit about what's changed in the sport from when you were rodeoing until now, from a judging perspective.
When I was riding, I thought, I might get fired, but I'm going to be a little bit higher than what I'm seeing. Because you got from 1 to 100 points. That it's like your high school grading system. Your 60s probably going to be option for a re-ride. 70s, that's D minus. Low 70s. D plus on up to 100.
Yeah.
A lot of us, or not maybe me, but a lot of them were in the A plus area. 98, 99, or 100. I know there probably isn't nothing perfect, but why couldn't there be something close? And I said, how come in the 70s there was a 98 in the bull riding? In the 97s. That's kind of where we ought to be when you got seeing the best thing you can see. And I said, that's my theory if I ever get the judge, I said, back when I rode. Said, I might not be that high, but I'm going to be higher than what I'm seeing now.
Yeah. Because when you were rodeoing, even BROs. Yeah. Did you PBR? I don't want to skip steps.
Yeah, I went 4 years to those.
Okay, so even then, I mean, to win one of those, the biggest bull ridings in the world, I mean, 85, maybe a 90.
Yeah, that was a big score then.
Yeah.
80s, middle 80s. 90 you didn't see very often.
But a 78 was common.
Yeah. 78 in a PBR, you might get an option. It got to that point.
Yeah.
If a bull made one round and blowed, even if he was jumping, kicking hard, 78 points maybe with an option.
Yeah.
I thought an option. I'm used to getting a score. Bull still buck good.
Yeah.
He just didn't turn back all the way.
Yeah. It changed a lot right then.
Yeah, it did. And the re-rides. How many times did we get fouled on the way out and no re-ride? All the way up till when I quit, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, there's...
But I can see how that would be, We thought we should have one. Get jarred off the side and no chance of getting back.
Yeah. Well, they change that rule every 5 minutes, so...
Yeah. And that's, iffy. Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, so at the risk of getting completely sidetracked. Yeah, so did you set your goal to win rookie, or did you just try to ride good?
I did. After I got going, I realized it was, once I started creeping up middle of the summer, I thought, well, this is going to be a reality. It could be. Things go right. Just going to have to ride everything I get on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a good year for me. I think we entered 80 some rodeos and got drawed out or slacked at a few. We went to the slacks. But out of those 80, I think I rode 78 bulls.
Jeez.
That summer. Out of 85 or 9, maybe 90, I don't know. But 78 bulls. So I did ride most of my bulls.
Yeah.
That summer.
Gosh, that's pretty impressive.
A lot of 74s and 3s and and hard to ride bulls.
Yeah, hard to track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminator-ish.
Brennels, like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's high roller.
Which one?
That Brennel hide right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you won rookie, and then what did Clint get done that year?
He won, I think, around close to 30,000. I think he was close to making it. I think maybe. But I know the next year we started out together in '86, and I went cold. We were down at Houston. I didn't have much money, just what we won out of the circuit finals to take off with. So a couple thousand.
Mm-hmm.
And went to Denver, no good. Houston got drawn out probably a little bit. Went to Houston. I rode both my bulls. I was low 70s, didn't make short go. Clint, somehow we got split up. He was in Tucson a day before me, or a couple days before me, and I was still back at Houston to get on my second one. And thought, well, I'd make a little bit more money, so I thought I'd get in the bronc ride, or I'd mount out a saddle bronc because they'd pay you $20.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody turned one out of Servies, and I had my saddle, so I went ahead and got on him. And they said, this horse is going to take about a 60-yard run before he does anything. Maybe we should shap him. I said, okay, shap him. And they said, spur him out hard, too. And I said, well, I nodded, and I just nailed him. And that horse cut off fart and jumped out of there, and he was bucking right off. Cracked him and had some swoops, and he went left and jacked me out in my stirrup. And I was going to leave doing a full gainer, and that stirrup pulled my foot back and dumped me upside down on the back of my neck, and where your knees bounce off your forehead.
Yeah.
It knocked the wind out of me. I thought I died. Don Andrews ran out there with Justin. You all right, son? Boy, that looks like it broke your back. I think it might have broke something. It was right in the middle of my back. Next day, I couldn't even turn around. It was sore. I had to go to Tucson yet. And I had kind of an iffy bull there. I was asking Dennis Humphrey or one of them, what's that bull Butler's there? And he says, well, he used to be good, but now it's hands up. He'll either be good or no good. So I didn't know how I was even going to get there. I had to catch a ride. And, well, that bronc ride, I ended up winning them plane tickets. I didn't realize that was in the play, but they played that film. And the crowd roared. It kept me in there all the way to the bitter end, that wreck.
Yeah.
And so, but I did win 2 plane tickets, and I sold one to Clint, and I used the other one, flew to Tucson. That was the last one I was entered in. And rode that bull. I was 83 points. He had a good day. I was going to win it. It was the last perf. And Glenn McElbain had Cowtown, and I said, I don't think he's going to ride him.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't seen the bull road. And he threw Clint off a couple days before that. He had Cowtown as well. And Glenn rides the bull. He went 90 and bumped me to second, but I won 3,800, and I was going to go back home and pay off my debts. And Clint said, no, stay out here. He said, it's going to get good now. I know it will.
Mm-hmm.
And he begged, pleaded with me to stay out there. I said, no, Clint, I'm go home and pay off that $1,000 I borrowed to come down here and pay off my debts. I'll get back at it. I never did that summer much. I went home and went to work a little bit and rodeoed a little in the circuit. Made the circuit finals, but kind of squashed that year. And then next year or two, I took off again with Brett Todd. And do you remember Brett?
I don't.
Brett was from Reed Point out of Big Timber. He rode good. And there's a guy named Jay Sukup from Sioux Falls, south of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And I jumped in with them too. And we traveled 2 years, I think, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
In a car, driving everywhere.
Yeah.
We'd fly once in a while, but didn't fly enough. We was thinking 88 or no, 89. I was 1,700 out of making the national finals that year, and about burned out too.
Mm-hmm.
I was so tired of traveling. So that's when in 90, I did ride some, but it wasn't working out much. I was traveling with Mark Kuhn that summer, and he pulled his groin and had to go home half of the summer. I finished out till end of August, and I said, I think I'm done. Went home and talked to my wife, says, I think I'm done, burned out. I just want to work, get our debts caught up. And asked Jana what she thought. She was working in a job in Billings. And I said, what do you think about, I got an opportunity to go out on a ranch and go to work out by north of Big Timber for the American Fork Ranch. She says, that's kind of scary. She'd been working in Billings for 6 years, the time I met her, and we got married. And I says, well, it's scary for me too. I haven't worked since high school much. And it is scary, but I'm at the point where I honestly think I should. So we decided to go out and look at it and took an interview and says, I'm going to do it.
How old were you?
29 then.
Okay.
Yeah. It says, I just think I'm burned out. Probably finals aren't a possibility no more.
Mm-hmm.
But like they said, I was riding against a tough crew too.
Yeah.
Tough Edeman, Lane Frost in those times.
Mm-hmm. Were you healthy?
Yeah. Yeah, nothing. Well, yeah, that summer was it 90? Wasn't sure. I was at Pawhuska, Oklahoma earlier in the spring, and Brett and Wade Lavoie, another bull rider from Big Timber. And we went down, entered Clovis and some of them at that time of the year, and hit Pawhuska. Benny had that, and I drew the fighting bull of Benny's. Nobody wants him. Big brindle, big horns. He'll spin flat if he decides to spin. So I said, you guys got good ones. I'm going to stay in the car, I think. I don't need to get on him. And I got there and I thought, oh, shoot, I'll go for the day money. They're going to probably throw a lot of guys off. And so I went in and got in. Well, it starts pouring rain right before the bull ride. My rope gets all wet. I didn't have anything ready to cover it up or nothing. I took a wet wrap and away we went out of the chute. He lunged out about 4 long jumps and hooked it right back to the chute. And when he did, I lost my handle. So I just spun off his hip to land on my feet. Well, he went by me and cow kicked with a back leg over my thigh, popped my knee out backward. It went off like a gunshot and I hit the mud and I broke my leg. They hauled me out of the arena right quick and got me over to the ambulance. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. When they picked me up, the pain, let me try it. Well, if you think it broke, don't stand on it. And the paramedic said, and I got to try it. And I stood up. Well, it isn't broke, but it's not good. It swelled up like a football. So I annihilated my knee right then. But
yeah,
I didn't feel like I could afford to sit out time and go to work. Not go to work, but heal up or get surgery and stuff. Because I knew I annihilated just about everything in the knee.
But never did get it checked out.
No, they said I suggest I do, but it felt better with ice after a few days, and I got back home and I was working out anyway, so I'd always jump rope, and I tried to jump rope, but it hurt too bad to the jump on it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a miniature trampoline and I just started stepping. And it felt actually pretty good after about 7 days. I was entered next would be Canada, Meadow Lake. Saskatchewan was my next one in about June, that was. So I thought, boy, this knee feels pretty good if I brace it. So I ran down to Cody and entered that, see how it's going to work.
Cowboy logic right there.
Run down to Cody and I wrote just a jump and kick bull across the arena and bailed off and fell on my side, rolled out of there and stiff-legged it to the fence. I'm good to go, I think. Yep. It didn't hurt.
No surgery required.
No. So I went on up to Canada and I ended up winning the bull riding there, rode one of Franklin's. And then I was back at it with a knee brace.
Mm-hmm.
It got better as the summer went on. I never got it fixed.
Yeah, till this day.
Pretty good, yeah. I always had to wear that brace, so just at the Chase Hawks one winter, I was crawling across the panels with my gear bag and my foot slipped down the panel and that knee went out. Got it back in and I rode that night, but it's pretty sore.
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd opened it up that bad since.
Mm-hmm.
Just a freak deal like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Me and Parker talked about that a little bit.
Did
on this deal was his knee problems and what he talked about with you and it's
well, I told him when he wiped his knee out in Calgary, I said, it looks a lot like my knee, except yours went sideways. Mm-hmm. You can rehab it. I don't suggest it, but if you can't afford to, you can rehab it.
Yeah.
You got to want to, though. I was driven, had a family, had to pay the bills, too.
Yeah, so did you go to work on that ranch?
I did. Worked there for 3 years. I did ride, but there'd be months go by where I didn't get on a thing. Mm-hmm. And when I did go ride, it seemed like I rode everything I got on. I'd hung the saddle up for been about 6 years, I think. And I says, I got my fines paid off while I was out there and all. I'm going to grab my saddle, I told my wife, and enter some circuit rodeos this year. I was just craving some bronc riding. My legs were in good shape because I was riding horses about every other day, pounding up and down the hills, working cows. So went to Missoula, the spring rodeo, and I drawed Misty of Kessler's. She was a pretty good one. Mm-hmm. So, boy, I drew deep right off the bat. And I'm sitting in my saddle up there, and Jack Nystrom walks up, says, "Hey, see you're in the bronc riding. Glad you entered." He said, "Get that money up there for us." You sorry dog, Jack. He's laughing. Ha, ha, ha.
Hit you in the belly.
I got thinking, I got to ride this son of a gun somehow. I can't let this happen.
Yeah.
Butch Small was there and Kevin, they were helping Reg gather horses, I think, that week. So they entered it. Yeah, I got to get on old Misty. Reg has me sit on her, which is kind of odd. Like a couple horses before they went. Just sit there. She'll be fine. Are you sure? Oh, yeah. Oh, she's a big old girl. Big old chestnut sorrel, Mac flaxen mane. Boy, I thought, this don't feel good sitting here, just sitting on her. And then time come, and I thought, I hope I remember everything. She blows out lofts out of there and sky high and drops. And my swells went out from under my legs and butt hit the saddle, and I was about to go. But probably the second jump, I was going to leave, and I thought something kicked in me. Lift, get under that rein, lift. My feet shot to the front, and the next, I was probably in the flats. The next jump, though, I hit the neck and caught the timing with her and finished her off good. I was pretty tickled. And I win third, I think. Butch and Kevin win first and second. Jack missed his out or got bucked off. I can't remember, but
But you beat Jack.
I beat Jack, win third.
Did you rub it in?
No, it's not like me.
We'll clip this and send it to him.
Yeah, I just talked to him this winter somewhere it was.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen him in quite a while.
Yeah. So did you keep riding broncs or when
I
did you?
did that summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of yours, though, that took me out later that summer up in Great Falls. Can't remember. He was a big bay, took a big run before he'd break.
And around this outfit, that's pretty hard to pick from that description.
Yeah, I bet. But big old stock-and-legged bay seemed like with the strip down his nose. I can't remember his name. You'd know him for sure. That was the night I think that what was the gray horse, the bucker? Schizo jumped that fence and fell on her side over, and that was the same night, I think.
Was it Snidely Whiplash?
That sounds right.
He was horse the finals. That's
took a good run at me and then picked his head up, and way more than I knew what the deal. I had too much rain, I think.
Yeah.
Or slipped some.
Yeah.
When he gave me his head, it flopped my butt back and launched me right over the front, and my foot hung in the stirrup and slammed me into the panels on the other side, full length.
Well, it was only 25 yards across that arena.
Yeah, it wasn't that far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I had to get on one in the bull ride, and half hour later, my ankle was stinging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about the schizo jumping out deal? What's your side of that story?
I was over there, I think, not at the beer gardens, but I was under there using the restroom or something. And when I heard the crash, saw the horse come over the panels and crash and slide into the beer gardens. And it was just crazy, all the people scattering and stuff. And holy mackerel, what? That is crazy, I thought. Right in the beer gardens, no less.
I got to get Ike on here and tell that story.
Oh, yeah. That's how I saw it that night anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's nice to have another account, because if Ike just told it, nobody'd probably believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when did you start your family? When did you start having kids?
We had Lacey when we first got married.
Okay.
Got married down in Cody. Jan and I did. We had Lacey. She was about 3 years old when we were out at the ranch, and she'd went to a lot of rodeos with us, so kind of getting in her blood. And then we had Parker out at the ranch. Last year we were there in 92. So he's born 9/2/92.
Really?
Yeah. Never forget that date. But
yeah, that's pretty neat. And that was one of the years when you were home.
Yeah. Last year before I went back to riding.
That's pretty cool. So you've rodeoed, you almost made the finals, you won rookie, you won the college finals, and then you went home, you called her quits.
Yeah, thought I was probably burned out.
Started a family.
Yep.
One of the reasons I had you and Parker on this deal so close together is because I wanted everybody to hear the dynamics about him growing up with you as a dad, and then vice versa.
I see.
And you got a lot more story to tell, but what's it like seeing your son be successful in anything and then following your footsteps and being successful?
Looking back now, it's amazing how he has followed the footsteps. I tried to convince him to do some other stuff too, but he's they just do what they do. You can't really control, after so long.
Mm-hmm.
I never did want to control it. Kind of. You'll want to make sure he's off on the right foot. But yeah. It's been a pretty good road watching that. It's a little nerve-wracking when I went to the first finals and I can't go pull his rope or nothing. I got to sit up and watch it. I said, boy, this is different. Up there on the edge of my seat, way away from the chute.
Yeah.
Well, this is way different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt like I had my hands sitting on my hands.
Yeah. Well, tell me more about that. I mean, just more about seeing him go through all the things that you went through.
Yeah, let's see. He talked about getting in. I told him too, if you get a chance, get in with somebody that's been there and done that, because that made a big difference for me too. Because I got in with Clint Bronger, and he was traveling with there and Seamus that year, and they invited me to get in with them. And then Jim Sharp called them and wanted in. I said, "Heck yeah, this is going to be interesting." Guys I looked up to, all of them, and bunch of good, great riders. And first thing Jim does is enter us up all over the place. And once again, I took off. Well, I had quite a bit more money saved up this time, so I didn't have to worry quite as bad. But Denver didn't go so good for me. Same as always. I didn't make Shark go anyhow. Go to Fort Worth, and what happened there? Oh, I was actually 83 in the first round. I'd never been over like 71 or 4 maybe in a go round there. I think things are looking up. Then I come back and was like 79 or 80 in the second round, and real good shape in the average. And Clint was up there in the average too. I think Aaron and Jim didn't have as much luck at that one, but I ended up drawing White Lightning of Russell's in the short go. And I said, all them good bulls, and I got to get on that. He's not fun. And he's mean.
I remember him.
Yeah, White Lightning. Yeah, luckily he has a good day. He just blows out and jumps and kicks like a horse. And pretty good to ride down the pen, down the chutes, and then he gets to that corner and he's going to turn back, and that's where he'll run a guy back on your hip pockets.
And then camp on you.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
So I make the corner and I got around that turn. Well, I guess he went left because into my hand, and I got around that turn. The next round, I'm out, and I hooked again, just Hail Married it, and my feet end up going upside down. My hand's stuck in the rope. I went on through the whistle, but plopped me right on the back of my neck and thumped over the top of me with his feet, but he never hooked me. I end up winning the average, though, at Fort Worth. Won about 10,000. I said, there we go. We're on the roll now. So, and Clint went second or third out of it that time. So
yeah,
we're in good shape. Popped me right up in the standings. And then everything went good. I kept placing, and it was a good year.
Yeah, so that was the year that you started back.
Mm-hmm. And I was 31 by then.
Yeah. All right, real quick, we got to pay some bills. Got to say thank you to the Bozeman Stampede, Bozeman, Montana.
Folks, the Bozeman Stampede, greatest rodeo in the world, maybe the universe. Huge crowds, beautiful bulls, riders tougher than my Twitter feed. Other rodeos, sad. This one wins so much you'll get tired of winning, but you won't. Believe me.
Were you done rodeoing or just
didn't? Oh, when I was on the ranch, there was one part that kind of a turning point for me. The bull riders only kept calling me while I was out there.
Mm-hmm.
I kept denying them. I said, no, I got to be back to work tomorrow. So I denied them 4 or 5 times. And Brett Todd, my old partner, called. He's been going to him. Says, Scott, can you make it to Casper? And I says, oh, I don't know. We're branding this weekend. Helping the neighbors, Carlsons. And he said, I said, well, how many days do I got to be gone? Just one. It's all on one day. What day? And he says, Saturday. I said, well, I'll ask my boss, see what he thinks. Asked my boss, Glenn. He says, well, we're branding tomorrow. And I says, yeah, I know, but they're not going to miss me any. The girls will do all the roping, Jamie and them. And he said, yeah, I suppose. Just don't make a habit of it. And I said, I won't. So I took off, went down there, and rode my first. I said, how many bulls I got to get on? And he says, possibly 3. Okay, so got on my first one. He was kind of out of line, belly rolling, then turned back, and I got him rode.
Okay, wait a minute. How long had it been since you got on anything?
Probably months up to that point. That was in April, so probably nothing all winter.
Mm-hmm.
Just horses. But balance was good.
But it has been a couple years since you rodeoed.
Yeah.
Like rode bulls
and
rodeoed.
Probably a good year anyway.
Yeah.
I'd duck off and go to like Harlow. just because I'm right there where that ranch was, not far from Harlow.
Yeah. Okay. So you.
And so anyway, I rode that first one. I drew a Big Bend bull, one of them red dog face related red Bramers.
Yep.
Didn't know the bull, and he was nasty in the chute, grinding me down the chutes. Every time I got ready to slide up, I get my wrap, and he'd go down the chutes, and I'd have to retake it. And finally, they says, "Scott, you can have another one." And I says, "I'll get him." I took it one more time, and this time I stuck it through the little finger, and I said, "I'm not losing it, and go." And he out there and cracked him like a horse. He didn't turn back, just circle, but stand on his nose. I rode him good and made it. It was 82 or something. It's looking up. In the short go, Lloyd Ketchum was fighting bulls, and he says, "This bull you got, Scott, is one of Hal Burns's." He said, he backs up when he spins, but I know you can ride him. I've seen you ride them kind before. So, well, I'm glad he told me that, because I didn't get over him too far. And rode him High Plains, I think they called him Burns's. Went both ways, and I was 86 points or something, and won the BRO $10,000. Biggest check I ever won in one rodeo.
Yeah.
And I called home. I remember called Gianna, and she says, "Well, what happened?" Says, "I won it." "You did not." Says, "I did." "You did?" And I says, "Yeah." "How much?" $10,000. No way.
What were you making at the ranch?
About $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
And then beef, all the beef you could eat.
Yeah.
And then my wife cooked for him. So eventually, she was pulling $600 a month, I think. So, but we were living good. We was able to catch up on bills. Didn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Pay my fines off so I could eventually, if I wanted to go again.
Yeah. So they baited you back in with this 10,000.
Yeah. Won the Lane Frost Trophy. The first time I was ever on TV. It was the dumbest interview I've ever seen. It says, "What do you think?" I said, "Oh, that's a beauty, isn't it? That bronze."
Like you're holding the baby.
Yeah, exactly. "Boy, that's a beauty, isn't it?" And there, Shaw Sullivan's laughing. And I said, "Yeah, it is. What are you going to do? Just go back home now, or are you going to keep going?" And I says, "I don't know. I got water running at home. I'm going to have to set when I get home." It was so basic and stupid. But I guess that was just me.
Well, and that's where you were. I mean, that
was my duties.
Yeah.
Says, but I was pretty tickled.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, we was able to put that in the bank, and that's what I was able to take off with once we decided, because Jana and I talked about it. She did say she was always a good driver behind the scenes. Parker too. He didn't mention everything she told him, but she says, "Well, maybe, are you sure you're done? Because maybe you're not. Because I don't want to hear about it when you're 60. I remember she said, "When you're 60 and I could have done this and I should have done that." She did say that. And I said, "Yeah, you're right. I think I'll go again." I stayed working out there for till July of that next summer. I did go to Rapid City BRO because I rode Mucho Dinero, win a round or second in a round on him out of that one. 1/5. Rode that good one of Hal Burns in the short go with the down horn, the Red Bull. Hadn't got rode much. I got him rode and win, I don't know, 3rd or 4th or 5th in the average off of that one.
And then
that just added more fuel to my fire.
Yeah.
Decided to take off again, and Clint had called me and says, "I heard you was going to travel again. Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." So that's when he invited me to get in with him and Aaron and Jim Sharp.
Okay. What was I mean, that's a big life decision at
Yeah,
that point.
It is. After you've already dumped it
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
I never said I was retired, though, actually. So I never told anybody that at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't sure either, but in my heart,
You thought you'd had enough
I did think at that point I did.
and never made the finals.
Never made the finals, not quite.
And then,
And I just thought, I'm getting old, and I just think I'm losing my prime. 29 should be my prime, and
mm-hmm.
I'm going through it already.
So I try to talk about some mental stuff on here. Not that I'm a wizard or anything, but I understand that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between trying to do it when you're young and wild and uncivilized,
Yeah.
and then everything changed?
Well, I heard Parker telling you about mind control.
Yeah.
I'd learned that when I was just out of college because I could write all right, but I couldn't always control what I was thinking. I did realize you can buck yourself off before you ever start by what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to keep that mind still. So I had to learn to control my emotions. If you get nervous, shut your mind off
Mm-hmm.
and just breathe. And that book he was talking about taught me exercises to do that. So, because it's hard to just shut your mind off.
And it was the inner workings of tennis? Is that what it was
The
called?
inner game of tennis. There was a bareback rider in college that introduced me to that book, Jerry Valdez. Do you remember him?
I don't.
He rode good.
Yeah.
Rode in the summer circuit.
Mhm.
Jerry was on our team down there, and he started reading that, and I asked him, well, what's it all about? And he said, mind control. So that's where I first heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I read that, and it gave me steps to follow. It's pretty easy once you can learn to relax.
Yeah.
You start controlling what you're thinking
Yeah.
and saving it for the moment. So, because people wear themselves out, I think, worrying. You're thinking up to the moment you got to ride sometimes. Depends on how things have been going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you'll be overwhelmed, I think. But if you just stay calm, you and save it for the moment, you're more apt to just ride off your pure reflexes.
So why do you think you rode better? Why do you think you were more successful after when you started your second career?
For some reason, I told Parker this and a lot of guys. I said, after I turned 30 and started riding again, I don't know what it was, but it's like a switch. Come on, I was calm. Nothing's bothered me no more. I didn't, just like in my 20s, things would bother me. But all of a sudden, it don't bother me no more. I don't know what changed there, but I felt comfortable at it.
Mm-hmm.
Once in a while, you might draw Bodacious or something, and I'd raise the hair on the back of my neck just for a few moments. But then I'd realize, I can't think about it too long, or I ain't gonna stand a chance. So,
Yeah.
shut your mind off and just go about it like you do, and allow yourself to do your best. Is the best key, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like trying to study for a test at the last minute. Don't work
Yeah.
unless you've been studying before. And visualizing, I would do that. I might go get relaxed and just sit back in my gear bag and just see myself riding that bull or horse, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
in my mind successfully 2 or 3 times, and might have him do something different. Maybe even something in the chute that'll wake a person up.
Yeah.
Change your mind sometimes. Something
Mm-hmm.
you didn't expect.
Yeah.
So I'd rehearse all that.
Yeah.
That helped me stay calm too.
Was there ever, I'm sure it talked about this in this book, but was there ever anything was there ever a tool that you used to focus yourself? An example is Larry Sandvik told me one time that he'd get underneath of his rigging and he'd exhale, and he'd be able to see the mane on their withers move.
Right.
And it just focused everything.
I would, I don't know who told me this, but the guys that stand back, put their rope on, some of them won't even get on the bull. I says, you got to get on them. You're going to become one here pretty soon. So you got to be touching that animal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd always help after I got my rope on. I'd jump down on them, and unless they're really nasty, but I'd still do it. I'd stay on my knees on their back, get my rope, and eventually drop my feet and calm them.
Mm-hmm.
Before I ever had to go. And then when I was ready, I'd put my foot across the chute on their back and just sit there and stay calm
Mm-hmm.
till I had to jump down and go to work.
But there was something about touching them.
Yeah, you had to touch. I just felt like I have to touch them because together you're gonna become one here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no sense avoiding it. The younger guys, some of them, they act like they're afraid or something. I don't know. But I says, it'd do you a lot better if you could get on them for yourself. You're going to calm yourself a lot. Just get on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Touch them. Don't be afraid of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to that. I'm sure there's something scientific to that. Like you hear about people talking, petting a dog lowers your heart rate.
Yeah. Well, I believe it. I like dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because and then, well, a lot of the people nowadays riding might not have been around livestock. That helps too. That you're around livestock all your life, horses, cattle. You know how to work with them more.
Yeah.
More natural to you.
Read them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Breed them.
Yeah.
Exactly. That helps a bunch.
Yeah. So you got in with, you're going again officially.
Yeah.
And then you get in with the Wolves. And it was Clint Bronger, Aaron Seamus, you.
Jim Sharp.
And then you got in with Jim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's good. Jim had a good philosophy. He had a lot of good funny stuff. Dry humor. You had to listen when he was talking because it was going to be funny and it was going to be informational. He'd always have us laughing. Like one morning, we were out at his place during the winter run, staying out at his place, and it started raining, and he come out in a Carhartt coat and his pants tucked in his boots and cap on, pulled down. He's looking out the window. Aaron's playing solitaire at the table. And I don't know where Clint was at. Maybe working out in there. He had a big workout room. And Jim looks out and I believe I'll change the oil in my tractor today. He had a little Ford tractor out there. This reminds you of an old farmer, staring out the window.
Yeah.
That was so funny. We busted a gut. I believe I'll change the oil in my tractor today.
Did he do it?
No.
Yeah, that's good.
But sure got a good laugh out of us. I don't think he'd run that tractor since he cleared all the timber off that place.
Well, how many times did you make the finals?
5.
5 times the NFR.
Yeah. Yeah, from 94 that year till 99.
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple years where I took off, I fixed this shoulder in 98 and sit out. Come back in 99, made the last finals, and then I had this shoulder fixed. And that's the free arm, so that's a bad one.
Mm-hmm.
I annihilated it, tore the rotor cuff, and it's got cable and screws holding the ball and socket together in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it bothers me still. I rope with it, but got to kind of rope low-handed, throw a little bit of a sidearm shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you one of the first guys to fix that injury, to have that surgery?
I'm not sure. Tandy did it. He did a different surgery on this one. That was my riding arm. It's still good, other than I tore the bicep off that last year. But it's still pretty strong. It's my stronger arm. This one I can only raise without help about to there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Tandy did it, and he said, we had on that arm, we had your arm pretty much off your body. And I thought it'd be a 4 or 5 hour surgery. We were like there 7, 8 hours. He said,
Yeah.
really? I said, yeah. When? And he says, so there wasn't much left to fix in there. So whatever you do, try not to hurt that arm again. I had to sit out 8 months with that one, 6 on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't bad. And then I was able to come back and hit Haber and some of them you guys had in the fall that year.
Yeah.
And but this other one I had to sit out till I think the Nile was the first one I could get on. That was kind of a funny story too. I had an older bull of your guys', he was a good one, a red horn bull that went out and just turned back, and he was getting older, and he went over to the corner and turned back and stopped, and then refired. I'd probably been 78 or something if he'd have kept bucking, but 71 with an option. And option was Nantan Lupan. I was like, oh, your dad says, it's Nantan Lupan. All right, I'll take him. I don't want him, but because I've seen him. I talked traveling with Sterling Lamb the year before or something a little bit. And he had him in Haber. I told him, you're going to ride the front end on this bull because he's going to be like blowing out of a fart in a skillet. he'll turn back, but he ain't going to stay maybe. But stay up on him and don't let him get you on your butt. And I think he might stay hooked longer if he can do it, because he was a lot of front end and not as much kick. I drawed him, and he was somehow out too, and round to the right, round to the right, round to the right, and I just sit there and rode, and he did jump ahead, but come right back again, and I finished him off, and I ended up winning the 84 points, winning the Nile on him.
Perfect.
Yeah, I could not believe it. I said, dang, I'd have never thought he'd have stayed like that.
Do you know the story about how we got that bull?
Huh?
I can't remember who we bought him from, but we were putting on a bull ride in Missoula, and it was just an open bull riding. They said they had a bull they wanted to sell, so I said, bring him down here. We'll buck him at this bull riding. They didn't mention the fact that he might jump out. Well, we learned that because he jumped out 3 times. Roped him, put him back, roped him, put him back, roped him, drug him in the buck and shoot. Drug him into the buck and shoot. Bucked him after we'd already roped him 3 times, and he still bucked. And Ike was in love with him because we had a problem child, so we bought him.
He had a ring in his nose.
Yeah. We did that. We put that ring in his nose.
Put
One of those Australians was around and taught Ike how to do that.
Okay.
And then, we broke him to lead. And
I'll be darned.
Yeah. Kept him for a long time, too.
Yeah.
A lot longer than we should have.
Oh, he was something. Sterling ended up getting him rode up there and placed on him, too.
Yeah.
In Havre. He says, I'm glad you told me to stay to the front end, though.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I could see that about him.
Yeah.
Stay up there, he might stay under you and keep bucking.
Yeah. So when you go to the NFR, what's the aha moment? I mean,
Get the first one?
First of all, did you set a goal, or were you just going to go rodeo?
No, I figured on after I won Fort Worth, I said, now I'm bankrolled finally. I can enter up and have that weight off my shoulders. And when I first got there, they kind of told me what to look for, and I did. I'd go out and help like Deb and them pull and bareback ride and push their horse out or whatever. So I'd get out there and get to see it happening, and the grand entry and all. That was fun. And so that it didn't feel too bad for me at that point.
Yeah.
And I knew not to let it. Well, and I could control things too a lot better then, so I could shut out that stuff so it didn't overwhelm me. So I might have rode my first one there, the first rodeo. I can't remember. Seems like it. And then bucked off second one, maybe third one. I did ride one in the middle somewhere, and I think I rode maybe 4 out of the 10 that first year.
Yeah.
One, I don't know, 25 to 30,000 maybe. Somewhere in there. And the next one, 96. No, 95. That's when Bodacious. I went to the PBR finals first, and when I saw him hit Tough. And then I couldn't believe Tough was riding at that 95 finals. Showed up in the lineup. I said, he's riding? Holy mackerel. Looked like he dropped 100 pounds or 50. He was pretty light, but he rode good though. He still rode probably 5-6 bulls that year. I was having a pretty good finals that year. I think I wound up winning a little more, but till I had Bodacious I thought I had him in the 7th round. Tough had him in like the 5th round or something. And I didn't really want on him, but I was healthy, and that's the only reason I got on him. I didn't know what Tough's story was up to that point, that he wasn't going to get on.
Okay, so that's you had him right after Tough didn't get on.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody's saying, you're going to get on him? I said, well, I kind of have to. I'm healthy, and I'm sitting 8th in the average. I got one more good ride. And I had been on him twice and rode him 7.4 once and 7.98 at Guthrie earlier at a PBR or Nashville.
Yeah. So it was attainable for sure.
Yeah. And I thought, well, they were saying, well, he's gotten dangerous. And I said, well, or did he? He would pick his head up in them years past that I'd had him a couple times. Pick it up somewhere, but maybe we're just in the wrong spot. I don't know. I was thinking this. Clint says, so you're going to get on him? And I said, yeah. And he says, you got that mask? And I said, yeah, it's in because I'd had a car accident that fall. And rolled the car. We got thrown out in Caldwell, Idaho, and I had to wear a face mask the rest of the year till my eye socket healed. And stuff out of that wreck through Pendleton and all those. And then I kept the mask. I didn't wear it lately, but kept it with me. And said, yeah, I got it. I'll put it on just to be safe. It's a good thing I did.
Yeah. What's the story on that mask? Did you guys build that mask?
Well, after the car wrecked, I was out for 3 weeks. I said, I told the doctor in Billings, I can't sit out too long. I'm sitting like 12th. I need to keep going. And said, well, do you have anything you guys wear for head protection? Because I really wouldn't want to release you because your bones aren't healed yet. And I said, well, there's stuff available. I'll find something. Hockey's mask or a catcher's mask or something. Lacrosse helmet. And I went down looking in Billings and tried a catcher's mask, too heavy. I'd never wore nothing like that before. And I said, ooh. I found a hockey face mask. It's light mesh. And it just had a plastic deal that snaps onto probably a helmet. But I just took the mask. The mask could work. I can build straps for that. So I built the straps across and the Velcro on the back to keep it on. Then I could put my hat on too, I thought. So I went with that.
And some padding.
It already had some foam padding around like a football helmet.
I see.
And a chin strap.
Yeah.
Padding. So the mask, it was padded and had snaps for it to snap on the helmet. Didn't have a helmet, just that. Put it on. Good thing. I got it at home on the mantle. It looks like he took a sledgehammer and hit it in the right side, just dented. I can't even hardly get it on. It's just pinch it on, and then the mask is right in my eye socket. Still busted my eye socket right where the car accident did. Pretty much the same breaks. But saved my eye, I guess.
Maybe more than that.
Yeah. Looking at Tough without a helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was sorry that I got on him after I found out Tough was not going to ever get on him again. But I didn't know that either at that point. I hadn't talked to him about it. But I said, well, I was healthy. If I'd have done that, I might not have. They took me out of the average, because I didn't try hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get off something like that when you want off.
Yeah.
Without getting kicked or something, you'd think about that.
Yeah.
If you're going to tie yourself on, you better probably go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, which that's what Tough did, right?
Yeah, he took the wrap, but just probably not a real tight one.
Yeah.
So just had him lift him as soon as he went out to get a qualified out. I said, I don't know what they consider a qualified out, but if I was to do that, they might not.
Yeah.
Or they might have. I don't know. I can say it's 2020.
Yeah, but you and Tough had not talked about it, or you wouldn't have got on him.
He did say, you going to get on him? I wouldn't if I were you,
Mm-hmm.
is what he told me in the hallway. And I says, well, I'm already dead set on doing it, so I don't want to hear anything too negative right now.
Well, and you have no regrets.
No. Yeah.
Which I don't know that he does or would either.
I don't either.
But
no.
Yeah, that'd be.
I'm sure he don't regret it either. He'd been on him 4 or 5 times and rode him once. So.
Yeah.
He knew all about him.
Yeah. Yeah, but I remember that as a kid watching that. Pretty sure I was watching it on TV, but that was about as gruesome of a wreck as you'll ever see.
Yeah.
That's neat that you got the face mask, though.
Yeah, got that with his picture.
Yeah.
He's 5 feet in the air with him laid back and gapped open like Marvin Garrett on one.
Yeah.
My hand's still in the rope. Well, I got that picture on me.
But you still got, you respect him enough that you still got the picture and you still got the story. I think that's really neat. What was the feeling around the family? Yep, I remember that in sports news. Yeah. I don't know if we'll be able to see any of this, but there it is.
Yeah, that's the one I got with the mask at home.
Yeah. Yeah, what was, your kids were pretty little then. How was that?
Yeah, I think Parker was 5 and Lacey was probably 8. They were pretty nervous, I think. I don't know anything about it. Clint rode with me in the ambulance, and I had to be out for about half an hour or something. I don't remember nothing. And he said they were trying to put an IV in my arm in the ambulance, and they kept, because I still had tape on my wrist and the vein was good. They kept trying and trying, it wouldn't go. And I sit up and said, not that arm, that's my riding arm, I guess. And went back to sleep. And they put it in the other arm.
Did you get on the next day?
No, I had a good one too. It was Death Valley, Harper and Morgan's, which I rode a couple of times.
Yeah.
I was real tickled I had him too.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get on him.
Did you get on any more that year at the finals?
The week later, I got on to Chase Hawks.
Yeah.
With the mask.
Different mask.
Same mask. Or no. It was Clint's mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Clint had one too. He got his head busted at a bull riding too.
Yeah.
That year, broke his eye socket.
Were you the guys that started the mask?
No.
Or the helmets?
Well, maybe we were. With that particular mask, because then Chuck Simons started building them with a friend of his out in Huntley there, or Shepherd. And they formulated the leather thing with the mask. So you had a whole cage around your head with straps.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was a lot better than how I built it. Yeah. And then I eventually got one of those just in case and carried that with me after that.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that bull and that wreck, do you think guys would be wearing helmets now?
I bet that had a lot to do with it. They took the masks Justin did from me for a month or so just to study to see if it did in fact help me. And that kind of went into what they said people should wear, I think, based off of maybe that mask.
Yeah.
Or one like it. And after that, you started seeing helmets. Because I know Charlie Sampson had to wear something like that way back He got hit by that bull out in the presidential rodeo. He had to wear a lacrosse helmet, I think, hockey helmet with that mask. That's where I got the idea. The hockey mask would be good. It was off of Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want a helmet on. I said, it's too heavy.
Can't
see.
Hat.
Yeah, you can't wear your hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my theory anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very iconic moment in rodeo history, I think.
Yeah. That and the vest when they come out. Too bad Lane wouldn't have had one. It might have helped.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys were wearing vests during that era, weren't you?
Not till 94.
94.
Yeah, I remember Cody Lambert and Ty and them working on a vest earlier that year,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe it was the year before, but they had something going.
Yeah.
But it was about a year before I got one, and they're hot. I said, I don't know how I'm going to do this. It is hot out, summertime.
Yeah.
4th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, I packed mine for probably a month or two. I wouldn't wear it because I don't know. I feel like if I put it on, I'm asking for it. I've rode without one all these years, but I won't be free. I remember I was down in Pecos, Texas on the 4th in the slack, and they were bucking about 30 guys out that night. And I had a bull from New Mexico. Somebody had subbed in. I asked the guy about him. He said, well, this bull, he'll turn back. And he says, but pick your spot because he seldom misses a cowboy or a bullfighter. All right. I think I'll wear that mask tonight, guys, or that helmet.
The vest.
The vest.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. That's when I first put it on.
Yeah.
Then I wore it every time after that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no telling what they've done,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Well, and I'd broke my ribs front and back years before that a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I knew where that would have saved that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, of course, you're out for a month
Yeah.
with broken ribs.
And it feels like your ribs are broke.
You know, they do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, NFR, at what point did the PBR start?
That started right when just as I come off the ranch there in 93, I think.
Mhm.
They'd already made a plan to get it going.
Yeah.
So I wasn't one of the original
Oh, really?
stockholders. No, I was still working. Clint was. And then they made it so after that first year, I think that 94, my first finals, they offered you a shot to buy 2 shares for $2,000 a piece. And I thought, I got a family. It's late in the year. I better not. Like a dummy. Might have been a little more watered down shares, but it still would have been worth a couple million, I bet,
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said I wasn't meant to be a millionaire, I guess.
Yeah.
Not with my thinking.
Wouldn't it be nice to know?
Yeah. Know what I know now and be a millionaire?
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, that deal, like you got to watch all that stuff start. And I've talked to Clint on it about here, talked to Clint on here about it. But, yeah, what was that like watching that deal grow up and explode like it did? And you still went to all those PBRs.
Mm-hmm.
How many times the PBR finals?
3 times.
3 times.
96, I took off because my shoulder was starting to falter.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm 35. Says, I think I better just cool my jets for a while. I could just rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
I had to wear that harness that I built to keep my shoulder in
Yeah.
the rest of that year and the next. But I made it back to the PBR finals in 97 the next year.
Yeah.
And I was still wearing the harness, but it was working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it worked for a few years.
Yeah. about 2 or 3 off and on. Because I wore it on my free arm too, and it worked to a point until I really dislocated it, and then I had to get it fixed.
Yeah.
That is out your practice deal when you're in Cody with that barn.
Yeah.
I went down with Leatherberry. He was going to get on a practice bull, and rode down with Jim, and I said, I'm not taking my gear bag. I just got back from Fort Worth, my first one, and it was already hurting because I rode the bull, but did the common no-no of grabbing the chute because the bull parked it at the whistle. I grabbed the chute, and then he fired and pulled my arm back. I felt it tear, and it hurt for days, and then I went and rode one and rapid the first round and got him rode, and I said, I'm going to go home and rest. And then I got home, and Jim wanted to run down and get on some bulls at your guys' place. And like a dummy, I threw in my gear bag. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one bull that the college kids couldn't get out on. And I says, you want me to show you how to get out on him? So I went ahead and grabbed my rope, and I just planned on going out. And if I had to, I'd just jump off. I could somehow, when you go out of the chute, you can't just jump off.
Yeah.
I can't. And he was just a little bramer that lunged down the arena and then turned back flat, and my rope slipped over and got out on him all right, though. Just had to stand above him and nod and not sit down on him is what he's kept going down in there. But got out there, and he turned back flat. I went over the side, and I reached my arm out for the ground, and I could touch the ground, but my hand was still in the rope, and his hawk hit me come around and hit me right in the back of between the shoulder. Went out, tore it plumb out.
And that's when you really wrecked it.
Yep. I was out the rest of I went back to Fort Worth thinking I could tape it, and there's no way.
Yeah.
Put the tape on, it about went out then. Just put my shirt back on. I says, okay, better look at one surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Talked to Tandy and got it done later that February.
Yeah. And then what was the next step in your career?
Yeah, I had to sit out 8 months. By then, I wasn't traveling with no one, just me, and sit out for 8 months and won the Nile that fall when I finally was my first one back out. And it felt good. A little stiffer. I never, even when it was good,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't raise it back no farther than about there. And it was limited. I still packed my arm a little low when I was riding them, but it felt good.
Mm-hmm.
And the next winter, I think I got on one to chase hawks. I don't remember how it went, but the next winter I went to Gillette, one in Wichita Falls, or down in Kansas, on the way down Wichita Falls. Hit that one. I was placing right off. I think I went 5th out of Gillette. And I won 2nd out of Wichita, and then I went to Baton Rouge, and I won Baton Rouge. So I was on a good roll. I got bucked off at Jackson. And Tucson was my next one, and I got one of Russell's bulls, a young one. Kind of rubbed me down the chute and turned back away from my hand, flattened me, and I said, shucks. Well, I'm not entered again for a while, so. And I'd spent a bunch of money sitting out. I wasn't bankrolled like I was in years past.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to have to start all over again. Went to Logandale and Laughlin, no good. Almost some good at Laughlin, but didn't ride my bull in the short go. Waited for Red Bluff and no good there. So I went home and got a job. Just something light switch come on. I'm going to have to go to work. Got a construction job and finished the circuit rodeos that year. And that was my last competitive year, 01.
Yeah.
In 01.
You remember the last rodeo you went to?
Circuit finals,
Yeah.
I think.
Remember the last bull you got on?
Yeah, Charlet Bull, Kessler's, 72 points.
What was the rankest one you've ever seen?
Ever seen? Been on or seen?
Mm,
Pacific
both.
Bell, maybe, when
Yeah.
he bucked.
Did you get on him?
Clint did once. We were entered together, and he was one up above me. I said, "Whew, glad you got him and not me." I just didn't believe him, that bull and me would probably get along. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
He didn't look like something that I got along with somehow. I don't know why. Clint didn't get along too good with him that day either.
Yeah. Did anybody ever ride him when he bucked?
Yeah, the best bull ride I think I ever saw, maybe witness, was Troy Dunn riding him at the NFR.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a couple points lower than, was it Cody Custer, Road Wolf Man? I think Cody was 95 and Troy might have been 93.
And you think Troy and Pacific Bell was the best bull ride you ever saw?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It was into Troy's hand and couldn't have looked much better.
Yeah.
And the bull bucked like he can.
Yeah. Man, that's pretty cool.
That was close to a 100-point ride, I think, in my mind,
Yeah.
watching that.
Yeah, I'll have to go find that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to visit about?
That pretty well covers it.
Do you
Just
think?
thank all you guys. I'm glad I met all you guys, and that's where, it helped raise me up, meeting your family, and it's where I kind of got my start back in them days, where it all began.
Yeah.
Up till now, it's been an honor to meet and know you guys.
Yeah. It's rodeo family.
Yeah, that's another thing. Found out rodeo is that's your second family.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if you break down on a road or something, you always know somebody, if you've been traveling, that'll help you out or whatever. And met tons of good friends, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing better that way.
Yeah. Do you think that when your dad told you that man is not supposed to ride bulls, that affected you for the rest of your life?
I've always remembered that. Dad didn't say that much, but when he did, you listen.
Yeah.
But I always thought, wow, I bet he'd still be pretty thrilled to see where I went with it, thinking about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he was right in his kind of prime when he was about to fill his card, riding bareback horses. Looking back.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Scott.
Yeah, you bet, Wade, and thank you for having me on.
Yep, absolutely.
Enjoyed it.
Yep.
It's just like talking out in the bunkhouse.
That's the point.
Perfect.
Yep.
Just how I like it.
Yeah.